Keep it here on Suns Geek. And my guy Patrick says Suns Geek's greater. I appreciate y'all. There's lots of great Suns content out there, everybody. I appreciate it. But thank you guys for being here. All right. It's long overdue. We're 17 minutes in. We have to dive into the juicy stuff. And he does not deserve a drop tonight. We have to talk about Deandre Ayton. Oh boy. Where do I begin with Deandre Ayton, y'all? And again, we're going to react to a play, and I was spamming this play out to every Deandre Ayton tweet I saw, and not in a good way. Let me just pull this clip up and we will get into it. Y'all already know, you probably saw this play tweeted by tons of other people. Let me just share my screen, y'all. Once again, follow me on Twitter. Appreciate y'all being here. So yeah, here it is. 3:39 mark. Suns were up 54-42. Booker's going to drive in. Ayton does one of those weak little screens, if you will. And look at this. Booker with the nice pass. I'm going to play this in slow-mo. Booker has the nice pass here. And okay, so Jamal Murray's right there. Michael Porter Jr. is right there. And sure, Michael Porter Jr.'s got size and length and everything. I'm playing this in slow-mo. Look at this. Ayton catches the ball, stops on a dime, and just freezes. Like, Porter Jr. comes over and contests, and Ayton just gets scared and just doesn't lay it up. He didn't even dunk it. It's like, dude, you are 7 feet tall, 200-something, 50 pounds or whatever you are, and you can't complete this wide open play. Look at this. Even Jamal Murray, look at him clap his hands. Clap his hands like, oh my gosh, we blew it. And then Ayton blows it. This is unacceptable. And it's not even just this play, you guys. Let me read you while we're reacting to this. And I just want to make sure I'm getting these tweets right, because these people deserve credit for tweeting this stuff out. Dave King was all over this from Bright Side of the Sun. So I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. Ayton misses the open layup, then gets the defensive rebound, poked away for a quick Denver score. Boos rain down. Oh, and that play that we just reacted to, Ayton got booed. And then he sort of picked up the pace a little bit after that, but then that was when this stuff started happening, like where he missed the open layup, got the defensive rebound and everything. But then it gets worse. This was from Dwayne Rankin. I'm just making sure I'm getting this right. Jock Landale checked in for Ayton at the 4:57 mark left in the game. Your third string center, I mean, you can flip-flop Busy and Jock, but it's pretty much DA, Busy, Jock. Your third string center got playoff minutes in a must-win situation over you. And then this comes from Evan Sedry. Deandre Ayton refuses to attempt a dunk over Jamal Murray, then carelessly corrals a rebound into a turnover. Kevin Durant shook his head at Ayton both times, pretty visibly after. Ayton is now being benched again in crunch time for Jock Landale. Disastrous. And then, again, Suns reporter Kellen Olson. Ayton went over to the coach's huddle to double check himself. CP3 gave him a tap and then held his hand out for a dap as Ayton walked away. Non-reciprocated. Ayton sat on the end of the bench during the huddle. Guys, I'm not making this up. Look, this is an actual tweet. Everything I just read to you is real. I was retweeting all of this. Deandre Ayton needs to be better. This is unacceptable. Look, I know that this isn't high school basketball, but I have like an old school basketball mindset, which is probably why I will never, ever be an NBA coach or even a basketball coach. Heck, even like a whatever coach. But if I'm Deandre Ayton, I'm in the gym right after this game practicing. I'm running laps. I'm doing suicides. You know what I mean? Because that was just unacceptable. I mean, notice how I've been on this DeAndre Ayton rant, and I haven't even read you the numbers because there really was no numbers. In 26 minutes, he had 4 points, 9 boards, if you want to call those rebounds. He had 1 block, which I don't even remember, 4 fouls, and he was 2 for 6 shooting. You guys saw that play that I showed you. It went viral. Kevin O'Connor tweeted it out. Bert Rando, 850, appreciate you being here, man. Thanks for the support. Says, the fans were booing Ayton tonight, and he deserves it. They were giving Jock Landale a standing ovation. Crazy how hustle and physicality can change a game. Jock is the move. Read the middle bottom part of this comment. Crazy how hustle and physicality can change a game. That is the biggest understatement ever, and it is a fact. Because what did Jock Landale do great tonight at? And he did it early. Hustle and physicality.
5 minutes later.
I'll get back to my Ayton thought in a minute, but we got to react to this video, y'all. Thank goodness for NBA Twitter. Thank goodness for Twitter. I know that Twitter can be a very toxic place sometimes, but all right, so this comes from Sports 360 AZ. And this was originally, I think Evan Sedry retweeted this, but someone originally tweeted it out. So look at this. First off, it's already got 27,000. I don't know if y'all can see this. It's already got 27,000 views. If I lower my thing, you guys can see it right there. 26.k views. Check this out, y'all. I'm watching this for the first time with y'all. Here it is. So Ayton's on the bench talking to CP3. Yep. Talking to CP3. Goes in for a handshake. Missed. Talking to associate head coach Kevin Young, talking on the bench. 2 handshakes. Look at Chris Paul's face. Look at. He's like, what the? You just asked me and didn't give me a handshake? Are you kidding me, DeAndre Ayton? You should be fucking running laps after this game, dude. This is unacceptable, DeAndre Ayton. Look at Chris Paul's face. Don't even watch Ayton. Watch Chris Paul. 2 attempts at a high five. Even Saban Lee reached in there and shook his hand saying, I'll shake your hand, bro. I can play harder and tougher than DeAndre Ayton. Did you guys see Saban Lee in that final game of the season, by the way? Jeez Louise, this is unacceptable, man. I made a video with my YouTube friend, somebody who I consider a friend, Super Mario Hoops 24, and we just went off on DeAndre Ayton for like 20 minutes after game 1. And I titled that video, DeAndre Ayton needs to be better in the playoffs. And sure, he had sort of a bounce back game in game 2, but then here's game 3. And this isn't even this is an off the court technical thing. This is an on the bench thing. This is embarrassing, man. You want to know what's funny? You know what? Screw it. We're going to react to this too, man, because I found this hilarious. Shout out to Mike V. Hill. I hope I said your last name right, from the Timeline podcast. They do great work. And Mike's a great guy. Great interaction on Twitter. So he tweeted this out right before the Suns played, and everyone was responding with like DeAndre Ayton comments, Ayton memes. So I don't know why I found this funny, man. I'm losing my mind over that Ayton thing. So Mike tweets this out of a video of Joel Embiid. Look at this. This is just of Joel Embiid earlier. So he gets the ball, drives in, passes it. Nice pass, by the way. Shot miss. Ayton, or excuse me, not Ayton. Joel Embiid boxes out, grabs that board, misses, follows his own shot up, and scores. And everyone's like, can you imagine? Oh, I wish DeAndre Ayton would do that. But you know what? Mike tweeting this out is actually kind of genius. And is foreshadow the word? Did this not foreshadow a terrible DeAndre Ayton performance? And Coda Kid, I love you, man, but I'm sorry. You can't defend DeAndre Ayton after a game like this, bro. You can't defend DeAndre Ayton after that bench situation that we saw. And I get it. things will happen. Things will happen on the bench. We've seen it before. Remember when Ayton and Bridges got in that little conversation, whatever it was? Yeah, like even Albert here is saying, y'all overreact with everything DA does. He was getting ripped for playing with his kid. I mean, yeah, but like people shouldn't criticize him for that. But again, just go back and watch the game. Go back and watch every DeAndre Ayton highlight. Watch what happened on the bench. I mean, I agree you shouldn't criticize him for playing with his kid. That's just people being childish, but y'all can't defend DeAndre Ayton after a game like this. Sorry it took so long to get to the juicy stuff. Sorry that I couldn't read the field goal percentage on the NBA.com graphic earlier. I just y'all are funny in the comments, by the way. I don't know. DeAndre Ayton just has to be better. It's plain and simple. Marv says Ayton has a bad attitude problem and you can't trust that behavior on his team. I like this comment, and here's why. Look, I'm not judging DeAndre Ayton as a person, because look, I've met DeAndre Ayton kind of, sort of, like a few years ago before we got good. Nice guy, spends time with the fans, and he is a dad, and maybe he's a completely different person in the locker room and outside of basketball. I mean, let's be real. Like, I've had bosses and people that I worked with that I did not like at work, but outside of work, they were cool. And I feel like maybe that's what it is with DeAndre Ayton. Like, he's that guy that you hate working with, but he's cool outside of work. You know what I mean? But I guess my point being is, it's weird because I truly believe that the Suns try to find high character people outside of the basketball stuff. They try to find high character people. But I sort of, like this comment here that I can't find anymore from Marv. Ayton has an attitude problem and you can't trust that behavior on a team. And again, like, momentum takes over, things happen, words get said on the bench. I mean, heck, look what happened with the Rudy Gobert, Kyle Anderson thing. And again, I'll go back to the Ayton and Mikal Bridges thing. And I'm sure Ayton and Booker have gotten into it before. But what we saw tonight with that game, with the Chris Paul thing, is just, it's unacceptable, y'all. You can't do that. And yeah, I agree with Cameron here, saying being 24 being 24 isn't an excuse for real. 100% agree. You want to know why I agree with that? Because not only is DeAndre Ayton 24 years old, but he's been in the league now for 5 years. He's played with one of the greatest point guards for 3-4 years now? I don't care if Ayton's 19. If you're playing with Chris Paul and you have a coach like Monty Williams and you're playing with Devin Booker and other great leaders like Torrey Craig and Kevin Durant, you're playing with Kevin freaking Durant now. You should not have an attitude problem. You should not be doing this shit on the bench with Chris Paul and all that. You should have a better attitude, DeAndre Ayton. And I get it. He's super cocky. He just got paid a max contract. I don't know, y'all. Am I wrong here? Like, is there something I didn't talk about? I just feel like I've spent way too much time, excuse my language here, I spent way too much time bitching about DeAndre Ayton. He had a terrible game. I'm sorry, he did. You guys can't tell me that he had a great game. You can't tell me that he even had a good, decent game. He was terrible tonight. He deserved to get benched. Jock Landale outplayed him. Our third string center outplayed DeAndre Ayton. Vision Plasma says, Geek, I just came back, but did you see that Ayton apparently exited the arena before the locker room opened to the media? Is that true? Did that really happen? I'm double checking right now. if that really did happen. It wouldn't surprise me if that happened. I'm just making sure. I haven't seen anything. I'm sure after I end the show, we'll probably see it. But and that's I don't know. I just hope that okay, you guys remember when DeAndre Ayton just stood there on that Nikola Jokic play and he got roasted for it, and he went to the Sports Center Instagram and put the clapping emoji. I hope DeAndre Ayton is seeing everything that social media is saying about him. And he doesn't care. Ayton doesn't give a crap, but you do know that he's reading it. Because why would he put the clapping emoji if he wasn't reading it? He probably does see all of our tweets. I've seen people screenshot it. He's been blocking people on Twitter. And that I understand. I get it. They're probably saying terrible things about him. But I hope he's seeing it. And I hope that he shows up when it matters. And we get that playoff Ayton that we once had back in 2021. Remember when he pretty much was arguably the best player in that finals run a couple of years ago? So it wouldn't surprise me if Ayton left early before the media was let in. Let me see. Just making sure I don't miss anything here. If Ayton can do a 20 and 15 night, he can't even do that. If we can get a 20 and 15 night from Ayton in this series, that'd be amazing. Hey Geek, or hey Suns Geek, you're doing fine, my brother. If you want to talk about DeAndre Ayton, I'm cool with it. Just get it all out of your system tonight. Oh, I definitely have, and I definitely did after game 1. I'm telling you guys, there's a 20-minute video on this channel of me and my friend Super Mario Hoops just talking all about Ayton. So I've definitely been getting it out of my system. NBA One Day says the Suns will always be D-Book's team. He was with the Suns, the lowest of the lows, and still chose to stay, even with a 19-63 season. What a legend.